Hello everybody, this is Gregory with How I Lost Over 100 Pounds and I've kept it off for 30 plus years, where there should be no hesitance in your weight loss and weight maintenance. Today we're going to posit the question if people in your life really want you to lose weight or keep it off. Now before we begin, if you need help with weight loss, contact me through the Clarity FM link found here in the episode notes. As you can see, my rating's pretty good. Also check out my website, which has hundreds of articles and recipes, my 2 books, which you can purchase on Amazon. And if you like movies, I have a podcast called The Cinema Rag, which is on Apple and Spotify. Go check that out and rate and review. And lastly, if you appreciate my content, there's a link for PayPal. Now, this is something you might encounter here and there in your weight loss journey and weight loss maintenance journey as well. And you could say that I might have a cynical view towards this, but I also have a pretty keen insight into human nature. And one of the things and one of the blessings that I had from being overweight as a kid and adolescent is, and I don't think it's just was only because I was overweight. I think this is just one of my talents, was that as an overweight guy, and I talk about this in the playlist Confessions of an Obese Child, like you don't want attention. Fat people don't want attention. Fat kids don't want attention. And when they have to have attention, lots of times they'll use humor to distract people from looking at their obesity. So they try to use their obesity to their advantage. That's why you think of the fat comedians, right? You see that trope. But I was more of like just a watcher, and I would watch people. And I think just being behind the scenes and watching, mixed with, I think I just have good natural discernment. I do have a pretty good pulse on people. And I would tell you, and again, this is a cynical view, I would tell you that the large majority of people in your life on one level don't want you to be successful. And why is this? Because anytime someone is successful in somebody's life, it makes them cast a light on them or makes them look in the mirror. And all of this is relative. So let's backtrack a little. So if you're an overweight kid, do your parents want you to lose the weight? Would they be happy? Yes, as a whole, they would be happy. Okay, so let's throw the parents out. But we're talking about mostly about with friends, and you could say this maybe with siblings and cousins, which are essentially friends. You don't see them that often. I think this really applies. And a lot of it is relative, and it's all about the dynamics of the relationship. So for example, if you were always the fat one, and other people in your life were either regular weighted or not as fat, because we know 70% of Americans are overweight, then you were always kind of pigeonholed as, yeah, my life's bad, but it's not as bad as fill in the blank, you. It's not as bad as you. And so you were kind of the cautionary tale or the sad story that people honestly don't want to be. We just did the video on like what people are willing to do to stay regular weighted. So I mean, this is very consistent with human nature. And so a lot of people are like, well, at least we're not like Gregory when I was fat. And so that is kind of your lot, right? And so if you lose the weight, it throws off that balance, that perspective, that relationship, because now you might be in better shape than that person. And deep down, they don't like that, because now they are the cautionary tale. And I think you see this played out more with women than with men, because women tend to be more internecine. They tend to be more competitive with each other, and their life tends to be more looks based than men. So you see this with women, how there might be the fat friend and then the not as fat friend. And so the not as fat friend or the regular weighted friend's always telling her, oh, you lose the weight, be good for you. And so then the fat one loses the weight, and then the regular weighted one is just like, and look, she will say the right things. And again, you can apply this to guys too. They will say the right things, but deep down, they're like, they really have, I would say, like cognitive dissonance, because they know as a good friend or as a good cousin, they should be supportive of you, but you're making them look bad because now you're getting attention, let's say, from women or from men. You're fitting into dresses, you're being more confident and more positive. And they're used to you being the fat reject who can't fit anything. And now you're having this success, you're having this kind of like renaissance and all this. And again, if they are not really secure in themselves, and especially if they're overweight or not as attractive, again, you're making them look in the mirror. You're casting that light on them, and you're not necessarily doing it, but it's just natural that that happens. And now it's like, you see this when friends get promotions, or friends get a new house, or friends get a hot young wife, or your sibling gets a hot young wife. It makes you have to analyze your life choices and your decisions. And a lot of people aren't comfortable with that. And so what is the natural kind of response? The age-old enemy of envy, anger, resentment. So look, you lose the weight, they'll tell you the right things. Would they be sad? Would your friends be sad? Your acquaintances be sad if you regain the weight? No, they won't. Will some of them actually be happy? Yes. It's kind of like a codependent relationship where there's the woman, let's say in this example, is always trying to support the alcoholic spouse, trying to bail him out, help him. That is their role. Then the alcoholic husband stops being an alcoholic, and the codependent wife doesn't know what to do because that has been her role. So part of her likes the fact that he's off the booze, especially if he was dysfunctional, beating her up, couldn't hold down a job, whatever. But part of her, if he lapses and goes back to drinking, she likes it because that is her role, and now her role has been resumed. And it's almost the same thing with people in your life and obesity. So look, you could say I'm wrong, that I'm being cynical, and it's perhaps. I would tell you that the German expression Schadenfreude, taking pleasure in other people's misery, wouldn't exist if part of my argument was correct. Should you use this as motivation, or should you be disheartened by this? No. I mean, some people will use that as motivation. You know people in your life, maybe they've made fun of you, maybe your siblings made fun of you, and you use that as motivation. You see I'm going to lose this weight, I'm going to look better than you and act better and be better. All right, whatever motivates you, that's great. But don't let it flip the other way where like, oh, these people really don't want to lose, I guess I'm not going to lose weight. I don't want to lose their attention, affection. No. It's like toxic people. You get toxic people out of your life. You gotta focus on what's best for you and have people that are supportive of you around. And you'll notice when you are losing the weight, you're going to have friends that are no longer your friends. And you're going to notice that. So just get prepared for that, or if you've already seen it. Guys, post in the comments. Let me know if you agree or disagree with me. I'd really like to hear. Have people treated you differently after you lost your weight? Or are you one of these people who doesn't like it when other people lose their weight? Hit the notification, subscribe, and share button, and share with others. Until next time, take care, God bless, and pray.